All right, cheers to the vinyl community and the YouTube people that are just cruising. My name is Ty, and welcome to my channel. Okay, been trying to buy less, listen more. I always listen to a lot, but it's just like my new theme for this year. Now, I talked about how I traded in the Ornette Coleman box set. Just was bothering me that I didn't really enjoy it as much as I would like to enjoy something I spent that much money on. And so rather have it be in someone else's hands. So when I traded in, got a good amount of stuff. Been going through, listening to all the stuff I got. And all right, let's get into it. The Rush in Rio. I actually haven't listened to that one before. I'm pretty sure I've watched the DVD before at a friend's house a while back when it came out. I'm pretty sure about that. But put it on. Sounds great. My only complaint on my edition is every album is a little bit warped. All four albums. So, but they all play through all the way fine and they sound great. The great job on the live mix. I wish the vocals were maybe a tad bit louder. That's if I would have been involved in the mixing or the mastering. Let's get those vocals. But as far as the way everything is blended together, it is a really good mix to where the vocals aren't too loud and they're not too quiet. They realistically they are just right. But I would like to have a little more Getty. But overall, this is a great album. Since there are still some copies available, I'm probably just gonna buy another one. Hopefully, don't get a wobbler version, and then swap it out and sell this to someone and let them know that it's all four a little warped, but they play through all the way. So, but either way, I'm still excited to have it. So I can't complain because it does at least play. It's just one of those things where I was like, all right, the first one's a little warped. 1 out of 4. The next one's a little warped. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, 2 out of 4. No, all four are warped a little bit. Not crazy bad, just still. You see, you see one little area where it goes up, and anyways, it's one of those things to where I think it's bothersome to us. Some of us that have been in the game for longer. I went 20 years, never seen a warped record, never bought a warped record. That's, just because all the record stores I would go to always, they would check their stuff. They just never got, they didn't make any, I'm sure they made some wobblers, but it seemed like if there was one that got warped, it got warped after the fact, not warped at the manufacturer. It seems like now they're just pumping out so many records that the quality has gone to shit. And not all of them. Luckily, they still play. But I feel like if you've just started collecting in the last 3 years, you probably have gotten a lot of records that are warped. Probably almost more records that are warped are the equal amount that are not. And so anyways, sounds great though. Not bragging on the Rush in Rio. This is awesome. And so awesome that I'm probably going to get another copy. But if not, at least it plays. And that's the main thing, is the music. And that's what I would tell anybody who got the record and it's not perfect. I was like, can you at least hear the music good? Yes. Then fuck it. You got, it's yours. Make it yours. And that's going to be, gives a little bit of character. Who knows? So anyways, stoked I got a copy though. And I've been playing the shit out of it. So I finally just played. It was cool reading how they set up the set list because Rush in Rio they hadn't played. And it was cool because I seen this tour. So I didn't realize it was a Vapor Trails tour. So that what they said was a big deal because they hadn't toured in like 5 years. So just as far as for them and their family and their road crew, that's a half a decade of not working or not doing the thing that, So them coming back out, they said they wanted to come out with a set list that was different, And so it was like, why don't we just come out of the gate with Tom Sawyer? They said they never used Tom Sawyer as an opener. Now, Tom Sawyer is not one of my favorite Rush songs, but it's a great song. So it's cool. It was just cool hearing how they built the set list to where they were talking about how they hadn't done like By Tor the Snow Dog or Cygnus X1 in a while, so they did that. They combined a few here or there to make I think By Tor, the Snow Dog, and Cygnus X1 they might have combined. Anyways, they did a few where they combined a couple things to But either way, it was cool to hear they had a process of making this giant set list. And again, my big thing right now is I had the huge epiphany. Sometimes when you lose somebody that's important to you, obviously you're affected immediately. But I think I've been shocked this whole time. I still haven't really dealt with like Neil Peart is gone. Now don't like as far as I got to see them live 5 times. They were a huge influence on me, huge influence on inspiring me. So when I had like a huge epiphany, they're like, fuck, man, you got to see it. You got to witness a genius, you know, a group of them. But you know what I mean. They're all equally so important to the band, the trio, that it's just that it's the. I mean, it did really hit me like, man, it's never ever gonna be the same. So, anyways, so that made me realize I need to grab up all the live Rush stuff because that's like, realistically, it's priceless if you think about it. The fact that we have a genius, and this goes for any music that you enjoy listening to. These people have, you know what I mean, somehow got their music to you. You know what I mean, and it's important to you. So I always think music is priceless. So that's kind of how I sometimes justify overspending. I'm not really overspending, but I don't like if it's something you like, fucking, you know, get it. But you gotta love to listen to it. You know what I mean? Don't just get it because someone else has it and you don't enjoy listening to it as much. And that's happening, you know what I mean? That can happen. Alright. Corrosion Conformity. Fucking kill it. I already knew. I never had this on vinyl yet. Well, I don't think it came out on vinyl. It was like a reissue. It had the hype sticker. See, I said the hype sticker. And I remember getting this. The reason, let's go Corrosion Conformity for you guys. A little history why I liked them so much. First, there was this drum player that was a truck driver that lived at my mom's house when I was a kid. Super cool dude. When I used to jam out once, you know, once I could finally play some whole songs. And I remember at MTV we're watching, I think he the Beavis and Butthead and the Corrosion Conformity. Somehow Corrosion Conformity came up. And he's like, oh, they're a fucking sick band. And because I looked up to him and he was a ripping drummer, I was like, all right, you know what I mean, what's up on Corrosion Conformity? Then later when Down came out, I knew someone was like, yeah, it's one of the people from Corrosion Conformity. So anyways, Corrosion Conformity, I got into them after they already crossed over. And they are a crossover band. So, and what is that? It's a band that's kind of switched genres. They were a thrash band. They went from a thrash band to total like blues rock metal vibe. But anyways, they reissued this out. And the album's so long it had to be on a double LP. So pretty much it's a double LP, and then they just gave you like 2 bonus songs on the second side. One of the Black Sabbath cover songs. Lord of this World. So anyways, double LP. I went and just got, they have a reissue on Tangerine. Every Corrosion, I mentioned this already, every Corrosion I have is a color. And I was like, I just want to get one that's normal, traditional black. So I went with the traditional black, which at first, sometimes I'll try to see if they have one that's cheaper. Because sometimes they'll have ones a little couple dollars off because whatever the market shifts, I don't know about that. Or the second batch they had to pay more for. So I went looking through, some were 37, some were 35. I realized the ones that were 35 were the ones that were just traditional black. So I was like, fuck this, I'm going with the traditional black. What's up? Got home, I realized one of the corners is kind of smashed. Usually what I'll do is I use guitar picks to kind of smash it, kind of give it a little, plastic surgery. And then, but each album, perfectly flat. So, who knows? It's a fucking gamble. You know what I mean? You never know. So I was stoked that I went with the black. Sounds killer. Surface noise is good. There's not that much surface noise. I feel like there's going to be less surface noise on the traditional black. That's not always the case, but most of the time it is. So anyways, stoked to get this. So if you want to get the reissue, they do have, the regular black ones are, the label's in black. So it's kind of obvious. It took a second. And luckily, the dude at our store has them on the price tag written color. If you know what I mean, so even if you don't read the back, just look at the price tag. And they probably don't do that at your spot. Maybe they do. But oh shit. So yeah, save that hype sticker. So Division Bell. Let's talk about it. First album again was a little warped, just a little bit. I might go trade this in though. You'll probably hook me up. But the second one wasn't. So. But I remember when this album came out, it was a big deal because Pink Floyd didn't come out with the album for a while. I remember some family friends went and seen the tour that year because it was a big deal because just to go see Pink Floyd live was awesome. I never did. I had the chance to see him play Dark Side of the Moon in completion at fucking the Shoreline at the time. I just got out of a fucking long-term relationship when I was younger. And it was like, I bought the tickets for the girlfriend and I, so it was like, there's no way. I should have just gone. I should have fucking humaned up and just gone and enjoyed the Pink Floyd show, but the state of mind I was like, oh man, I need to go see some, like, I don't know, just Pink Floyd was not the mood to go see at the time. Looking back now, I regret it. But everything happens for a reason. So, there goes a little personal insight. Jeff Beck. Bought tickets to see Jeff Beck one time. Paid an enormous amount to fucking get these 2 tickets for a friend and I to go. We got stuck in traffic trying to get to San Francisco. I think it was at the Warfield. By the time we got there, they wouldn't even let us in. Like, the show was already, like, towards the end. We can't even let people in at a certain point. I was like, I can't even at least go there and catch the tail end of the show. No, I can't even go there and get a t-shirt. Nothing. Totally denied. I was so mad. I felt like I was personally mad at Jeff Beck for that one, but should have left earlier. So anyways, I still haven't gotten to see Jeff Beck since that. So anyways, Division Bell. Put it on. I was like, okay, I remember hearing some of this. Now, is it Pink Floyd's best stuff? Yeah, probably not. But looking back, and what's funny, I remember I was trying to figure out what year it came out. It did come out in 94. It says right on the fucking hype sticker. Released in March 94. So anyways, I don't know how I missed that when I was on my last video. So anyways, when this came out, looking back, the cool thing about it is you can hear David Gilmour's ripping some guitar solos. He still had the tone. You know, I mean, I'm sure he'll always have the tone, but it's typical David Gilmour. You got the good tone on the Strat. It seems like he usually plays, and some piano chords. You can tell that they've borrowed from other songs in the past, but it doesn't matter because fuck it. You know what I mean? They wrote them anyways. Like, what if they borrow some old stuff? And I enjoy it. I was like, it's Stony. Like, there's a couple parts melodic wise he does on vocally that I feel like he didn't. Maybe could have gone a little different, maybe with some of the parts. But hey, he wrote the music. You know what I mean? He's the Godfather. And it's a good album. You know what I mean? I think it's good to have to collection put on. It's a momentary lapse of reason. It's got that vibe to it a little bit. You know what I mean? Not so much of the 80s vibe, but still quite a bit. Considering, I mean, 94 wasn't that far from the 80s, looking back. Even though when you were in 94, it was like, man, we're almost to 99. We're gonna party crazy, Prince style. So anyways, that's the little rant. So I got a CD player on Marketplace, and it's a Sony DVD CD player 5 disc holder, not with a tray, with the 1 slot, but it holds 5 with the numbers across. And also, I figured I could probably use it and just use RCA into one of my auxiliaries on the back of my amp. And my bass player was like, not that one probably, because it has its own speakers with it. But I was like, it has a fucking RCA out the back. You know, you can take a DVD player, usually that's for your TV, and run it into your auxiliary, and usually will play. Even though it's a DVD player, because they play CDs too. Even though they're not the best quality CD player, but it works. But I didn't want to use the little square one, which, looking back, I probably should have got it. Would have been easier to do. But I got this big old army tank, hooked it up. It did not work. My bass player was right. But luckily, it has a headphones jack. So the way I hook up my phone to my stereo is I have a cord that's RCA to headphone. So plug that into this big old honking fucking CD player thing, and it works. And it has its own volume on there, which is kind of cool. So I just want to I have a separate stereo in the other bedroom for CDs. So usually when I want to play CDs, I'll just go in there. But there's been times where I've been in here having coffee. What's up? And I don't want to go all the way to the other room. It's not that far away. I just want to go to the other room just to play CD. And sometimes I'll hesitate. It's like I had a CD player a while back in this other player. I had one of those combos of CD player with old record player on top. It looks like an old turntable, but it's not. The cool thing about that setup is it could transfer, even though the needle's garbage, you could transfer the vinyl to CD, which is cool. So anyways, I would usually use that CD player, but I took that thing out of my room to space for more records in here. And so now I don't have a CD player in here, so I got this army tank. I only got it for $30, but my bass player was right, but luckily it has a headphones jack on the front of it. So playing some CDs. So that leads me to the next topic I'm segueing over here to, CDs. And I talk about it every now and then. I've always collected, when I collected vinyl, I still got CDs and vice versa. I never stopped collecting either one of them. I remember it would be, the good old Friday payday. And even though I had to check, I would run by Warehouse Records. Almost every Friday, even if it wasn't payday, I would run by there and go pick up a couple CDs. And And I would usually try to track down stuff I knew I had heard that I didn't have my own copy of, or I had a copy or lost. And because I listened to so much music, I'm not trying to brag over here, but it was always fun just going there and, oh, I found this old Sepultura, or I found this old Hendrix, or whatever it was, whatever I just recognized. I remember when Carlos Santana came out with "Leave Your Lights On" single, and then I'm gonna forget the name of the album. Anyways, I got that album when it came out because even though I didn't listen to a bunch of Santana, that album was really good. And so, anyways, CDs. So kind of trying to track down again, kind of doing this again. There's not too much I don't have, but there's like, there's a handful of CDs I realized I don't have in my collection, and that I thought I have. Like, for instance, actually, there's an old Sepultura album I had just a CD, not the case. I couldn't find it a while back, and I was like, I don't know, I must have loaned it to somebody, and that's rare because I usually don't loan my fucking CDs out, hence why I still have a lot of them. So, anyways, trying to track down some stuff. So, I got Coffin Break, their double LP. It's Rupture and Psychosis on one disc. And bumping that. But I don't know if you can hear in the background, Ugly Kid Joe. I don't hear anybody talk about this band, and this is a band when they came out. I remember, like, I did not want to like Ugly Kid Joe. And I was like a little Nirvana Primus kid. They seemed like these like skater surfer dudes that were posers to me when I was a kid. But every time this shit would come on MTV, I remember I would listen to the whole damn fucking song. Usually, I'd be like, and then they did their version of Cats in the Cradle, and that's what won me over. I was like, fuck, that's a killer version of that song. And so Ugly Kid Joe, I've never seen this shit on vinyl. I've maybe strolling through in the fucking, I might have gone, but I feel like I would have picked it up. So I honestly can't even say I've ever seen this thing on vinyl before. I bought this used a long time ago from Music Zone, this cool spot that was in my hometown back in the day. And this is their album, America's Least Wanted. Fucking killer name. Like, album cover's kind of cheesy, but you know what? The production on this album's fucking killer. The songwriting's killer. The guitar tone and the drums. I still haven't heard that many people talk about this album. Fucking killer album. Ugly Kid Joe. And I got it cranked. Well, I was cranking it earlier. I got it playing right now in the background. And hopefully my video doesn't get flagged because of that. But yeah, anyone in the vinyl community have this on vinyl? Don't comment if you do, because if you made it this far in my damn video, or if you even, if you remember Ugly Kid Joe. Now, they were kind of connected to my hometown because the bass player did go to high school at North High. It was on the north side of town. And his dad, I think, worked for Guitar Player magazine. And so he kind of had a connection to the industry. But so that band was kind of like, I feel like it was, I think David Cordell was his name. Let me look at the CD. Cordell Crockett. His dad was involved in the industry. And I think one time I remember going to the guitar store I used to take lessons from when I was a kid. And this dude was in there, and they're kind of all, a couple of the employees are standing around him while this dude was ripping on bass. And it was the dude from Ugly Kid Joe. I remember afterwards, they were like, yeah, it's Cordell Crockett. And I was like, oh, fuck, right on. I should have gone and talked to him for a second. I was a real little, I was pretty young. Really young teenager at the time. But anyways, I was playing this album right now with the opening track, Neighbor, which was a single on MTV, or a song on MTV. And, I think it was the other song, there was another single on here. Everything About You. Either way, it's a cool album. I want to find this on vinyl. It's one of those things. And I got that Bad Religion, Stranger Than Fiction. That's the first Bad Religion I've gotten on vinyl. I've really never seen that much Bad Religion. One time they seen it had an original copy of How Could Hell Could Be Any Worse, which is basically 8085. It is 8085. But for some reason, I always had this back in the day. Me and my friends. And then like somehow else, how could hell be any worse? I'm kind of confused, but they're both the same albums. One of my favorite Bad Religion albums though, because it has all the old stuff. Hence 80-85. But Stranger Than Fiction, they just switched to a different drum player. Everyone else is the same in the band, I'm pretty sure. And it's a good album. It's over there. I wouldn't pull it out, but anyway, not too much to show it. But it wasn't warped at all though. So out of all those stacks, more were warped than not if you add it together. But if you album-wise, Rush one was warped. Pink Floyd kind of half was warped. And then the other two albums were fine. The Corrosion Conformity, which is 2, and then the Bad Religion. So, and the second album wasn't. So anyways, it's almost 4 versus 4, technically almost. So anyways, 5 versus 4. Still more warped than not, but again, they all play. So, this video, again, I was going to try to do just a short video, but it seems impossible. And like I said, sometimes it's more like a podcast realm on just a music scene. The music topic at hand. I watched some of these movies. I watched Color of Night with Bruce Willis and Scott Bakula, fucking from Quantum Leap. And then I watched Basic Instinct last night. And Basic Instinct, still a great movie. It's like comedy, though, as far as... You know when they would do SNL bits making fun of certain movies, or back in the day? I haven't really watched that much SNL. I don't have cable anymore. I haven't gone on my way to try it out. Sometimes I'll watch clips on YouTube, though, of just older stuff that's fucking still holds the test of time as far as being funny. But Basic Instinct's like... It's just like they don't make movies like that anymore at all. You know, and there's probably a reason why. The fucking movie is fucking it's kind of cheesy, but it's funny looking back how any of us who have a memory of back in the day, it was like this controversial movie where Sharon Stone fucking shows a beaver shot and fucking Michael Douglas is this fucking little rough with this fucking chick in this certain scene, and we're like, what the fuck? You watch it now? It's like PG-13. I'm fucking... Anyways, I paid 10 cents for the movie. You know, fucking, it looked like no one fucking watched it either, so it's hilarious. Anyone who's a funny memory of so some of you might know my dad was homeless when I was a young kid. He would still come visit us on our birthdays, but he was full on homeless, and luckily he stayed mentally strong. Got a little bit out there towards the end, but when he came back, he lived with his sister, his youngest, my aunt, and she had HBO and Showtime. You know, like after like 10 o'clock, they would have the like these movies, Basic Instinct or Color of Night or Register Diaries. The actual, a lot of people don't realize that was a movie. They made it into a series after the fact. But Red Rock West, really good, cheesy kind of 90s movie, but it has Dennis Hopper and Nicolas Cage in it, and Dwight Yoakam. He does a small part of the movie, but it's a really good story. But my dad loved those types of fucking movies. I remember when I was a little kid watching these movies with my dad. Except he came back from being, we was living in my aunt's house, and it was like when you're a kid, you're like, it was always just, usually there was some batshit crazy chick the dude was trying to save one of these 90s cop movies, right? And you knew, just leave, hit it and run, all right? Don't stick around. Or whatever. Stay clear of all the drama. And as a kid, you're a young kid, you haven't, had a girl get you wrapped around her finger yet, you know what I mean? So as a young kid, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great feeling sometimes, but, and it goes both ways, I'm sure. But, I remember just like, run, dude, what are you doing? And my dad would always be like, no, man, she's the one you fucking, you throw it all on the table for, like, you're gonna gamble it all away for this one woman? And my dad was a diehard. He was like, fucking, you gotta do it. Yeah, I'm like, I'd just be laughing because my dad loved these movies to where he was like, oh shit. and then now that I'm basically the exact same age as my dad when he was watching these movies with me, makes a little more sense now. Sometimes you're like, fuck it. What's crazy? I'm still a little more cautious just because I mean, we've all had some interesting relationships, I'm sure, but uh, I'm attracted to, the drama. Fuck, I don't know what it is. Fuck, I don't even though I don't enjoy it. I'm like a magnet towards it sometimes. So at this age and phase, just if I even feel any, I'm later. So I'm not trying to get involved in any of that type of shit, drama. Trying to stay. And I've been thankful that even, I mean, I haven't had any super crazy drama, but at this phase, I think anyone, as the older you get, you just want less bullshit in your life. And hopefully you didn't have that much in the first place, but sometimes it's unavoidable as far as just treading through the waters. You're going to have to deal with drama here and there. It's really how you deal with the drama. If it comes in contact, fucking don't participate, fucking tread water around, get the fuck out of there. But either way, alright, so I'm just going to finish my coffee. But yeah, I watched all these fucking movies. Well, I haven't watched A Time to Kill and Varsity Blues. So, and I'm still streaming stuff, obviously, on the old streaming device. But I enjoy watching these movies on VHS. I have no like. I guess the best metaphor I could describe it, or analogy, is how people watch black and white. Excuse me, they're coffee burp. People watch movies in black and white, even though they have added color to them, because it's just not the same. And I get that. Like Casablanca, pretty sure it was in black and white. Yeah. Even like the old Psycho. A lot of times, a lot of people thought this old Psycho, that's actual red right there, because in their mind they actually seen red because of the scene, but it's a black and white movie. There's no fucking red. And supposedly, I think they used Hershey's chocolate syrup for that scene. So VHS movies is almost like I wouldn't want to watch a new movie on VHS, but any movie that came out in the 90s that I watched originally on VHS, I almost enjoy watching now because it just takes me back to the good old days. It's funny. They posted this meme one time, or recently one time. It's on 1940. The same time distance is from 1980 to now. So it would be from 1940 to 1980. And I was like, shut up. Like, just to make you realize, basically, if you're this age in 1980, you were born in the fucking 40s. That's fucking crazy. Because when, I was born in 1980, so anybody born in the 40s, my grandparents are a little bit older than that, but either way. So that's what people look at us, like fucking old fart. Like, and I don't, if anyone's older, I'm not trying to rag on you. Any age you've made it to, it's an honor to get to that age, and then whatever. I always feel like if you make it to 90, any age below that, you would be like, fuck, I was, even at 80, I was still a little bit more, I'm still stoked to be 90, but 70 and 60, fuck, I was really young looking back on, so, and then, and so forth, so that's the way I try to look at things, so yeah, I don't know, where is this video fucking going now? Is this just turned into fucking therapy with the vinyl community? Right on, guys, thank you. I mean, you might as well just talk to a bunch of people that like the same stuff. Are you gonna pay somebody? Nothing against therapy. But there's two ways to go about this. Either you can pay a stranger to talk to, or you can talk to a bunch of strangers for free. I'm more about that route. But anyways, all right. All right, fitting. I want to hear this song, so I gotta check out. Stay positive. Play lots of vinyl. Our CDs, our cassette tapes, our VHS. It's turned into a madness over here. You know what I mean? But it's all about the music. Right on. See you guys next time. Bye.